Yeah, we're gonna rest some guys. No, we're locked into that number 2 seed, so we're gonna rest some guys. There's gonna be some guys that are resting. There are gonna be some guys that are in reserve roles. You can't obviously rest everybody with the schedule. With the roster. And so yeah, that's our plan moving in here forward.
Is Saquon going to be one of them?
Yeah, he'll probably be somebody that rests.
How valuable will that be for those guys? They've been playing. The bye was early this year. They've been playing 12 straight.
Yeah, that definitely played into all the decisions here. Is our bye week being week 5, very early bye week, and so it's very valuable to be able to be in this position to do that, and so. Again, we want to use this week. This isn't our first time having to do this, and we've had experience with this. So a lot of that went into, planning all these things. We want to use this week to continue to get better. Whether we're playing in the game, whether we're not playing in the game, whether we're playing in a reserve role, whether we have a big opportunity ahead of us, we want to use this week to get better because of our goals moving forward.
Some other coaches have publicly said that they find it difficult to tell players. That they'll be playing versus other ones. What is your response to that? And how do you tell the players so that the ones that are playing don't feel like they're?
Yeah, you just try to have a communication with all the guys, and and that communication can look differently. Whether you call, whether you text, whether it's position coach, whether it's myself, and so you just go through that. But we have a very selfless team. I'll say that. Like I've told you guys, we have videos after their game about some of the things that they've said in the media, promoting team and the celebrations that they have together, and just listening to that last game of, I think Lane said something really cool. He said, the relationships that we have make us, he said it somewhere along these lines, the relationships that we have with each other make us just, not want to let each other down and this and that. And so I thought that was cool. And, our guys that are not playing in the game will use this as an opportunity to rest their bodies and to help their teammate get better. And the guys that are playing, again, some of them will be in a reserve role. Some of them will play more than they've have in the past. Some of them will play less than they have in the past. So everybody's in a little bit different scenario, and everybody was thought of individually. And it's not. Hey, here's the book on this, right? Everybody was thought through. Each and every person was thought through individually.
With Saquon specifically, what was the consideration in allowing him to pursue that record and then ultimately deciding not to?
Yeah, again, not going to get into all that. I mean, obviously a lot plays into it. Obviously, it's a very special record that's been standing for a very long time by a great player. It's a team record, it's a team record that everybody's involved in. So you weigh in all those things, but at the end of the day, you just try to do what's best for the team. Again, when the bye was, how guys are feeling, the bumps and bruises we can take care of. We've put ourselves in a position to be able to, let's say, be in this situation. And so, our goals, are to have success and to have a good, play good the next game we play, not only New York, but whoever we play after that. And so, we think that this plays into that. So it wasn't the easiest decision to go through, but, we have great people in this building and had a lot of input from a lot of different people, players included. Howie and I discussed a bunch, position coaches and coordinators and I discussed a bunch. I discussed with players, and we have just selfless guys that, want to do what's best for the football team, and, getting some guys some rest, who've been grinding for the past, 12 weeks, we thought was within the best interest of the team. Of course, I talked to Saquon, yeah.
Do you have a decision quarterback? Situation?
Yeah, we'll see as the week progresses and where we are as we continue on. So we'll see.
What was your conversation with Saquon like?
Yeah, I'll keep my conversations private with these guys, but just discussing it with them and, where he was and what he felt. And, you guys can talk to him. And but I always keep my conversations private with these guys.
Players who won't play on Sunday, how do you want them to handle this week?
Yeah, get better this week, just like we do each and every week. And want to go out there and try to win this football game. just like we do every week. What an opportunity for some of the guys that are going to be playing that maybe don't get as many reps. So huge opportunity for some people to do it in, like in a NFL regular season game. Again, this isn't the first time we've been in this scenario. You look back at your notes on that, you always grow from different things that you go through with these scenarios, but excited for these guys and their opportunity to go out there and play.
How is Jalen Hurts doing, and is he still in concussion protocol?
Yeah, he's still in there, and so we'll see as the week progresses through.
You started Dallas's practice window. How important is it to get him back in the mix, and how quickly do you think that's going to be possible?
Yeah, we'll see. It's hard to tell. You can't ever really tell, and get him back on the field and doing things. Start his window, and it'll be super important to have him back. He's a great football player that has helped this team win a lot of football games. So really excited for the possibility to get him back, and like I said, we'll see when that happens. But it's just good to get him back on the field and getting him practicing again, seeing him out there because he is a presence for our offense.
Nick, you mentioned talking to Howie. Was Jeffrey involved in the conversations at all?
I talked to everybody about everything, use all inputs. So, of course, I talked to Mr. Lurie about everything. That's what, again, communication, good communication is what good organizations do. We have so many resources here to be able to discuss and talk, and you use all those. Ultimately, I had to make the decision of what I felt was the best and, for the team. Luckily, we have great, selfless guys on this football team, but at the end of the day, I had to make the decision of what I felt was best, and this is the direction that we went. But so many good resources, Mr. Lurie, and we've been in this since I've been here, but Howie and Mr. Lurie have been in this same situation multiple times as well. In addition to the past 4 years, so they've had a lot of experience of this as well. So of course you use all resources that you have at your hands to help you make the best decision for the football team.
Nick, can you tell us if Jalen's progressing through the protocol?
Yeah, I'm not sure how I don't think I talk about the protocol. The protocol is what it is, and I don't have we listen to the doctors, we follow the doctor's advice in this, and they do this by design again, so that the people that are involved in the concussion protocol are the ones that are handling those things, and again, we just take it day by day and see where they are each and every day.
You hold importance for records with players and try to communicate those things. How do you frame what Saquon's done this year without it?
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I guess I didn't really know exactly who those 9 guys were on that list of 2,000-yard rushers. I have an idea because I saw it. But those are they all Hall of Fame players? Are most of them Hall of Fame players? Henry's obviously.
Lewis should be in, but he's not.
Okay. That's all right. I can't go. All right. So Jamal Lewis. Who else?
Chris Johnson.
Okay, so he's not in, but
But he'll be in.
Yeah. So yeah. There you go. So you hear the list, right? You hear the list. A lot of really phenomenal players. Barry Sanders on it?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So a lot of really phenomenal football players. A lot of them that are in the Hall of Fame, and so that's a special thing for the team. That's a special thing for Saquon. You think back and I think there's probably been about 4 or 5 quarters, if you add up all the time, that if you add up all the time that some of our starters have missed through the year, with us having leads in the fourth quarter, that's almost a game too. And so you look back at that and you're like, well, you really go through those things and you say that's the best thing that you could do for these guys at the time to make sure that they're healthy. And I think that, again, all those things add up. The bye, having the bye, 12 weeks ago is part of that process. But, you think about all the times that they've had off in that fourth quarter, and it does allow you to be, we've noticed through a 10-game winning streak that some of those games that you have off, like we were able to have a little bit of time off before we played, we were able to have a quarter off before we played Washington on a Thursday. That mattered. Right, all those quarters that they had off during that win streak those mattered for the next game, and they mattered for the next game. Again, I can't tell you how selfless this football team is, and they want to, you know, I won't get into each and every discussion I had with everybody, but I know that the common denominator of what was coming out of all their mouths, this was, let's just do what's best for the team. And man, that's a special, that's a special group of guys that we have, and you know, really fortunate to be associated with these guys.
All
right, last one, guys.
Did you think back at all to the conversation you had with Saquon in New York, or up in New York County? You said it's up to you.
Oh yeah. No, I didn't think about that. But yeah, again, he's awesome teammate. You guys have gotten to know him. I think it's pretty obvious how special this guy is.
All right.
What's different this time?
I get him.
Okay.
What's different this time, either with the situation or with you as a coach, compared to 21 when you had Devontae play early in that game to get that record?
You know, it's different positions too. It's you know, there's a lot that goes into it. Every team's different, and you have you have things of, you know, past situations that you've been in, and you know, and you take all those things into account. But at the end of the day, every team, every individual is different, and you know that you always got to weigh all those things in there. So it's a different situation. It's a different scenario that we use the 22 and 21 as a guide, but also, again, just like you treat every individual different, you do every situation as well.
All right. Thanks. We got to flip.